What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Tina Parker Show. If you just joined me for day 26, I just did an episode on day 26 of this challenge. Well, I'm on a roll now and I'm talking about some sex. Who wants to join for this? It's called It's Not About Sex. This is going to be a great episode. I know there's a lot of women out there that have some trauma around sex, and today I want to talk about it. Why so many women hate sex. There's trauma, religion, safety, and the rewiring of female desire. A lot of women don't hate sex. They hate what sex has meant to them. They hate the trauma attached to it. They hate the shame, religion drilled into their body, right into their nervous system. They hate the fear tied to vulnerability. That's scary, right? They hate the lack of safety. They hate the memories it brings up. And some women hate the version of themselves they become in the bedroom because no one ever taught them what intimacy can look like with safety, trust, and freedom. Today, we're talking about why so many women struggle sexually and why others, like me, don't. Even if we went through the same kinds of trauma, and how you can heal this part of your life so deeply that you feel whole, confident, and free again. You ready? Let's go.
Welcome to the Tina Parker Show, where we burn the bullshit, speak the truth, and build brands that break chains. I'm Tina Parker, spiritual badass, truth teller, and the woman who turns pain into purpose. If you're ready to lead with fire, heal out loud, and drop the damn mic, you're home.
Most women struggle sexually are not really broken. They're they're not withholding. Their nervous system was programmed to survive, not to surrender. Their religion taught them shame, not embodiment. Their trauma taught them fear, not pleasure. This episode, I'm going to break down exactly why female desire shuts down after trauma or religious conditioning and how to heal it. Here we go. Trauma doesn't land the same for everyone. I couldn't figure out why am I so different? Why didn't it affect me? I didn't go through therapy. I didn't, but why are so many women held back in their marriage sexually? They just really can't let go. Two girls can experience sexual abuse and become completely different women later in life. Why? Here's the reason why. Trauma creates different coping pathways. Some freeze, they shut down emotionally and sexually. Some avoid, they fear intimacy, associate sex with danger. Some become hypersexual, using sex to gain control. And some become empowered, reclaiming their body fully. That's what I did. Your response was a counter phobic response. So I used it as power. You know what I mean? Like I reclaimed it. Okay. Other women might lean into fear, shame, disgust, and hypervigilance. Neither path is wrong. Both are survival. Here's another thing that I've noticed. Okay. I am a convert to the LDS church. I've noticed a lot of women that were brought up in the church, so they were born into it. Okay, and this could be all churches. I don't know. I went to a lot of churches, but I spent the most of my time with girls that were LDS or are LDS, and I spent more of my experience going to a church was the LDS church. Okay, but what I noticed is the female shaming conditioning that's going on. Okay. This is the part that nobody talks about. I think they're starting to talk about it, but I brought this up 15, 20 years ago. When a girl grows up being told your body tempts men, cover up so boys don't sin, like they throw it on the girl. It's your fault. You were showing too much skin. Shame on you for showing skin. Purity equals worth. Modesty equals morality. Your sexual desire is dangerous. So she forms this subconscious belief around that. Okay, she believes my sexuality is wrong. My body is shameful. It really fires me up, for lack of better words, that the church has programmed these girls like this. It really bothers me. Like, I could just punch them in the face. And that belief follows her into her marriage. Okay, even with a loving husband, even with consent, even with desire, her body still feels dirty, dangerous, and sinful. Not because she hates sex. She might hate it in the sense or dislike it because she's still programmed. She still got all these ideas and beliefs around sex in her nervous system. And it's caused her to dislike it in a sense because she's tying it to this dirty thought, this shame belief around it. Okay? And that's the programming that the church does. Not to mention she might have some trauma from a sexual abuser as a child. So it compounds. You know what I mean? She's had that memory, and then she's had the programming from the church. And it's not just the church. The church programmed her parents, and her parents are also programming her. It's kind of fucked up. All right, the nervous system never learned the difference between danger and desire. So women with trauma and religious shame often experience intimacy like this. Their heart wants connection. Their body remembers threat. Their religion whispers, shame on you. Their subconscious screams, unsafe. So even in a good marriage with a good man, her nervous system shuts down. This isn't by choice. This is survival imprinting. It's embedded in her nervous system. Okay? It has become her identity. So the goal is to break. She's got to unlearn all of those old beliefs. She's got to break the programming. She's got to realize that she's got to change her whole identity. Like, unlearn all those beliefs that were bullshit. They have, their body is doing its job, protecting, hiding, freezing, avoiding a risk. To them, it's a risk. And it's dirty and it's shameful. And I feel bad for these women. So why didn't I shut down? Okay. I've really wanted to study this because why didn't it affect me the way it's affecting other women? One was I wasn't brought up in the church and I didn't have parents that shamed it. We talked openly about sex. My dad used to talk to me about his sex life with my mom. I grew up in a very open, we communicated about everything and there was no shame in anything. Like, it was like direct. It was kind of like, what's that term that you'd say? Just a matter of fact, you know? So my sexual energy and ability to really let go came from respecting the guy, admiring him, and I trusted, and he was a great leader. I haven't had I haven't had a lot of partners, but I will say my sexual experience has been different with different men. And I've noticed my best experience was with someone that was a leader, someone that I admired, someone that was driven in life and had goals, and someone, like that entrepreneurial spirit. And I trusted. I could just completely let go, and I respected him. I think that goes a long way. So you have to look at who your guy is. I mean, if he's a leader, if he's in his masculine energy, I think that's really important, and that you trust him. Okay? That is everything. So open sexual women open sexually when they feel safe, led, protected, admiring their partner, emotionally connected, spiritually aligned. So for me, my husband, okay, the one, I've been married twice, but my best experience, the man, sorry, I've been drinking this water, had strong masculine leadership, ambition, trust, consistency, safety, passion, lots of passion, presence. So my body could finally relax. I could completely let go. That relaxation was my feminine sexual opening. Okay. So why some women use their past to avoid sex? Okay, this is the truth. This isn't an excuse. This is their nervous system screaming unsafe. Okay, they're not avoiding pleasure. They're avoiding reliving the trauma. Because every time they think about sex, they're either thinking about the shame, the guilt, be modest, that it's dirty, all that bullshit. And then they're also tying it to this abuser, right? And that memory keeps coming up. And so she's reliving the trauma, she's trying to avoid being vulnerable, feeling dirty, I said, feeling exposed, being vulnerable like that exposes too much. Not feeling like she can talk about it either. I want to say that, like, we need to normalize talking about these things. Feeling judged, feeling sinful, feeling powerless. Their trauma created a survival blueprint they never got to break in their life. Here's what those women didn't have: a partner who created deep trust, a man they respected. And maybe they did, but maybe there's some things that are missing that she needs. Permission to be embodied, safety in their own body, a healing environment, freedom from religious shame, self-trust, a relationship with sexuality outside purity culture. Their body is not betraying them, it's protecting them. How can women heal their sexuality? Okay, we got to rewire the shame into ownership. Okay, you got to own what you're experiencing. Be open and willing to talk about it. It's not sinful. It's really amazing, and it's sacred. Okay, I'm not saying sleep around. I wouldn't tell my daughters to sleep around. I am a little different because I do believe in test driving, if that makes sense. A lot of people will say to wait. It's complete personal preference. I don't think you should just start dating them and then instantly have sex. I don't think that. I think that you should date for a while, but if you feel like you're into a phase where you think you're going to get married, okay, and you're talking marriage and that, you might want to open up your idea to, say they want to marry you, and, you start talking about that next move, maybe test drive, okay? Because I believe that you could have like a total spark, and you could have total, like, you connect on all these levels, and it's going to make it so incredible. Or what if it's completely off and then you're married? Who wants to get divorced, So it's been different. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have great sex with someone forever. So I think that I like to test drive. But I wouldn't test drive with everyone. So it's kind of like you got to decide when it's time. But I'm a little different because I believe that. And I don't have any shame in saying that. But you got to get to a point where you can rewire the religious programming. You have to know that what they did to you was programming, was control, was manipulation. It was bullshit. Okay? Complete bullshit. You got to separate God, Yahweh, from religious guilt. Do you honestly think that Yahweh, God, our creator, would actually want you to not have great sex with the man you love? No, he created us to do that. Okay? That's how we create babies. It wasn't just to not only create babies, like we're supposed to bond and have connection and have great sex. Sexuality is actually a really incredible thing. Okay? So we have to rewire your brain, get rid of that guilt that you've got framed and programmed in your nervous system. Okay. You have this trauma response going on, and we need to change it into embodied pleasure. Pleasure. Okay. Women learn pleasure through safety, trust, slow exposure, embodied movement, self-connection. Touch yourself, ladies. Okay? Touch yourself. Take your clothes off and just rub on your body. Weird, but do it. It's not weird. It's actually a beautiful thing. Your body is sexy, okay? And if you don't feel like you are sexy right now, then get sexy. I can help you. Embodied movement, self-connection, affirmations, permission. Give yourself permission. Have you ever used a vibrator? They're magical, okay? That helps too. That helps you kind of maybe you can help get yourself to let go if you can start doing things like that. And then you want to experiment and do things with your husband. Let him, you got to relax. And I would say breathe. Like if you're starting to feel nervous or anxious, like breathe through that and let go. Maybe if music helps, like put on some great music that makes you feel sexual, and candles, and there's all kinds of things that you can do to kind of turn that up. Touch your own boobs while they're touching you. Touch them, I don't know, there's so many things you can do. I just love it. So we got to rewire the distrust. There's a distrust into self-trust. You trust yourself, okay? You trust that this is what I should be, this is a good thing. Unless you're with someone that, you don't trust and you don't respect, maybe you've got other problems, okay? Other than the trauma and the old program beliefs from your church. Your current body, faith, and self-leadership is, you're strong. You are a leader. If you're a mother, you're a leader. If you, or if you aren't yet, I'd like to help you get there, okay? But movement, dancing, discipline, fitness, laughing, fun, cold cold plunges. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Okay, humming, faith, grounding, gratitude. Be grateful every day that you get another day. Okay, and self attunement. So I want to also say, if you are seeing a therapist, I'm contemplating on doing a whole episode on this. Some therapists, I think, are so freaking soft and they're keeping you stuck. I know, it's hard to hear. Yes, therapists, some of you are too freaking soft and you're keeping the people stuck. They need to, like have some tough love too. And you're allowing them to have excuses. Okay? It's okay to like have compassion and empathy for people. But then it's time. Snap you out of it. Okay? Quit using that excuse. Quit living in that bullshit. It might be hard to hear, but that's how you rewire the freaking brain. I don't like to babysit excuses. I'm here to build your identity. Okay? And it starts by rewiring all the bullshit you've been told. Because it was freaking lie. And it was to keep you soft and weak and programmed and manipulated and controlled and all of these things. Okay? Forgive yourself for yesterday. But get your ass up today type love. You know what I'm saying? That's what women need. I'm going to do a whole episode on that at a later date. But you guys, okay, we need to get with it. All right? If you're ready, and women could be afraid to even change. But honestly, you want to stay in a marriage where you just keep making up excuses and you don't get better? Is that what you want for your husband? Is that what you want for yourself? You have to decide, do I want to enjoy sex? Do I want to show my husband that I'm a sexual being and I love him and appreciate him and all he does for our, our family? Maybe you don't have kids yet, but I promise you, if you want a strong marriage, you got to have a great sex life. Okay, they go hand in hand. So, if you guys have any questions, if you want to connect with me, I'm here for you. Okay? I know I'm a little tough, raw, real, okay? But that's what helps people, honestly. Some of these coaches that are like, and therapists that are so soft and going, maybe we just need to, they're just soft tiptoeing bullshit, okay? And they're keeping you stuck. Let's move along, okay? Let's get you the truth. Get you out of your excuses. All right. I love you. Share this with someone that needs to hear this, and you have an incredible day.